To get rid of those pesky ads, request stories, listen to unlisted and bonus episodes, and to chat with the gang, support us by clicking the description link.
All right, here we go. 3, 2, 1.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Talk Murder to Me. Today we have the specialist guest of all, at least for me, my mom.
Aww.
Hi, Mom.
Hi, Annie.
Hi. We've had a very full dinner, cocktails.
Nicole drank a whole bottle of wine by herself.
I did not. It was a half bottle. I ordered a half bottle for myself.
No.
No, you didn't.
Well, I thought somebody else was going to have like a little bit of a glass with their steak or whatever. But I had the half. It's like 2 glasses. Okay.
Those glasses were also like this big.
Yeah, they were like goblets. It was great. That wasn't me.
What's up, everybody? Special guest.
It was great. Hey, Ashley. But you know what? In my defense, Mom had a very, very large glass of a dirty martini. And what's your trick? You ask for the shaker ice on the side?
Well, you don't want to miss a drop. So you just kind of like suck those cubes. Yeah.
Shaker ice on the side. Yeah. And John had 2 bourbon drinks, which Mom and I basically drank like the second half of his. So
what do you mean? I drank all that because I'm a man.
No.
That's what men do.
You didn't drink it all.
What's up, everybody? I see you guys on live chat. Sweet.
Everyone says hi, Nicole's mama. So Mom's in town visiting from Massachusetts for a few days. So we had a couple of loose things planned, like one thing planned a day while she's been here. So we went to get facials yesterday. We had dinner plans today. And then tomorrow we're going to go see like a Van Gogh exhibition, which I'm pretty excited about. So relaxing, but eventful.
This is a unusual episode. Jen's not here, so we're not doing the shot or whatever, but I want to say...
Hang on. Mom, do you want to do a shot?
Am I supposed to?
Yes, Mom. Yes, you are.
Oh, God.
Oh, dear.
Do you want to do a shot?
It's going to be a short show.
Lena likes you.
It's a short walk to the bedroom, so...
I'll do it whatever.
All right, go get it, and I'll go ahead and do the formalities.
I'll do something that I know Mom will like. One moment. I'll make it like
Okay, small berries.
All right, welcome everyone to the Talk Murder to Me podcast. My name is John, sitting here with Nicole and special guest Nicole's mother.
Which is your mother-in-law?
My mother-in-law, not my stepmother, my mother-in-law. I keep getting that confused, but I am very excited. This is not a murder per se, but this is a request from one of our good friends and supporters, Wolfie, and she sent me this request as kind of a, hey, look at this. What do you guys think about this? And I just got sucked into it because this is probably one of the craziest stories I've ever heard. And I pulled out everything you can find on this thing. So I'm extremely excited to deliver this story for you guys tonight. If you like this, we're putting out episodes Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays now, if I can get them out. I know I'm a workaholic, and this is what I love to do. So we're going to keep doing that. And, I got some great stories coming up. And also, if you like this, you can follow our sister podcast, Among the Dirt and Trees. Brienne's doing a great job. She is killing it right now. And the story I just put out today, I'm actually going to cover the same story this weekend. It is insane, the episode that she put out today. You would not believe it. Anyway, go check that out. It's on any podcasting app. But that's all I have. So who's this to?
This is to Mom.
Oh, to Mom.
I'm going to just say, instead of just to my mom, to moms everywhere and to all of our moms listening, because I know we have quite a few and quite a few who are on our live chat right now. So cheers to you, Mom. Cheers to our moms out there.
Cheers to all the moms.
She hurt her foot, remember? She can't lean forward. Cheers.
That's that blueberry raspberry stuff.
Vodka?
It is vodka. Okay. It's a very good high-end raspberry vodka. Oh, you're supposed to shoot it, but that's fine. You can do whatever you want.
So this wasn't going to be an episode, but I just dived into it, started researching it, and I was like, you know what? I'm just going to see if you guys like this. It is crazy, and it's the perfect story to do with my mother-in-law here. So perfect.
Is it? I don't know.
Yeah, it's not gruesome or anything else like that. So it's kind of I don't know what it is, but we're going to get started if you guys are ready to go.
I think everybody's ready.
And you guys on live chat, you guys just keep talking and commenting. This is
Yeah, show yourselves. There's quite a few folks on here. I know that there's at least 7 watching, but I don't see even everybody commenting yet. So
this is an unsolved case. So I want to know theories. You guys just comment whenever something comes to your head, because I truly want to figure out the reasoning behind what I'm about to tell you tonight. Luna, what are you doing? Bitch. Tonight I'm starting the story September 8th, 1987. We're going to ATL. I'm pulling up the Google Earth right now. So if you are on YouTube, you can see this. If not, this episode will be available if you want to watch it later. 1114 Fountain Drive, Southwest. Nicole, did you see this story as a request? Do you know what this story is?
no, I didn't see it as a request.
Okay, good. So this is where we're going to tonight. This house is still standing, and I'll tell you more about all the information. I just want to kind of go into the driveway here with you guys and see what we're looking at. So this be the house right here. It's a 1-story abode. It's actually a pretty nice sized house. And I don't know if anyone is from Atlanta or been there. I don't particularly like it because there's so many people there, so much traffic.
I've not been to Atlanta, actually.
And
I mean, outside of the airport.
yeah, but that's why I try to stay away from Atlanta. But they do produce the best rap music. Oh, I'm going to have some fighters on that.
Oh,
I'm going to have some people getting mad about that. It's true, though.
I don't know about that.
Yeah, it is. It's true.
I don't know. I think I'm more of a West Coast rap.
You're not even from the West Coast.
Doesn't mean I can't like West Coast rap more. Hang on, you got to talk into the mic, first of all.
What is West Coast rap?
It's like Snoop Dogg.
Yeah, Snoop Dogg, Dr. Dre,
Tupac.
I think you said it right better the first time. Yeah, Boys in the Hood. Mm-hmm.
Boys in the Hood. Yeah, Atlanta rap is like T.I. You don't know any of them, so I'm just going to continue on. All right, so you saw where we're going to tonight. As I said, that was 114 Fountain Drive, Southwest Street in Atlanta. So September 8th, 1987. This is a crazy, crazy story. We're actually 3 miles from downtown Atlanta. That house was built in 1945 as brick, 3 bedrooms. At the time, there were 7 rooms total, and that was 1987. But however, if you look on the Zillow today, it says only 6 rooms are available, so they probably combined one. But we're starting with a 77-year-old woman, a grandma, a sweet lady. She is taking a bath, and this is Tuesday night. So this is...
How recently we're talking? Like you're saying she's taking a bath
And she's sweet.
How recently?
Yeah. Like when did this occur?
1987.
Oh, okay.
1987. So you weren't even born yet, were you?
No.
No. I was born. That means I'm robbing the cradle.
Rocking.
No, it's called robbing. Oh my gosh. Should we tell Mom?
Do you know what that means?
Robbing.
Rocking.
Oh my God, we're so alike. It's not even funny.
No, do you know what robbing the cradle is?
Well,
Contextual clues.
kind of makes sense. now that you mention it.
Can you tell I'm a sideboard versus cyborg thing?
Oh yeah, so forever.
Okay, how do we even ask her how does she think it's pronounced?
All right, let me show you a picture of what this is and pronounce it for me, okay? All right, 1 second. Let me pull. Because your daughter pronounces it some way, and I want to see how far
It's not really a pronunciation I legitimately thought it was.
I don't really have a good picture. Let me see. I don't know. Maybe what would you call this? Like half human, half robot?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it what? It's a
What?
A
Science fiction?
close.
It's
Sci-fi?
No.
What?
It's like
is it? Is Nicole?
Is it sideboard?
What?
You never heard that?
Cyborg? No.
All right. So
Okay, how about cyborg? Because that's what it's actually.
okay. So your daughter forever thought it was sideboard instead of cyborg, just completely.
Well, hey, you know what? Mom's never heard of it at all. So,
All right, I just have one. You know, Up and Adam.
yeah.
Okay. For years, I thought it was
Adam.
Like the name.
Up and Adam. And Danielle said, "Mom, it's Up and Adam." I'm like, who the heck is Adam? Anyway, yeah, at least I got into the right car today.
Oh yeah, we won't talk
both
about
did.
that. Yeah, I have to basically put a leash on these two when we go out.
Where are we?
All right, the house 114 Fountain Drive, 3 miles from downtown Atlanta, built 1945, brick, 3 bedrooms, 7 rooms in total. We're talking about an elderly woman, Minnie Clyde Winston. She's 77, and you can see her here with her beloved husband. This is Minnie. She looks like a very sweet lady, doesn't she?
Sure.
She's handing her husband the phone, and that's her right there. So, and we're going to talk more about those two in a minute. But this is their house. Now, they're renting the house, but they've been renting for 22 years. So you've seen the house. That's where they're at, 1987. It's Tuesday night, and it's late. It's late at night. Actually, they go to bed at 9:30. But then this night in particular, Minnie says, you know what? I'm going to take a nice warm bath. And the grandpa, he is in the bedroom, doing his thing. And he's actually hooked up to a dialysis machine. So I'm going to talk about that, but he's going through a kidney infusion. So the blood is pumped out, pumped back in type of thing. And he's pretty much on that dialysis machine for the entirety of the day, every day. Okay. And we'll talk about that. But all right, so she is in the bath. At this point, it's Tuesday night. This is around 10:30, let's say. She's been in the bath for an hour. It's time for her to get out because it's past her bedtime. She turns the water off. This is one of those old school tubs. She pulls the plug out. She gets up. Now remember, she's 77 years old, so she's no spring.
Watch it.
Watch it.
Okay.
What did you say?
I said, watch it. You know what?
I said she's 77 years old, and your mom says, watch it. I was going to say she's not just like hopping out anymore. So Minnie gets out of the tub. She is very careful to step on the floor. It's tile floor, and she's very careful. She doesn't want it to slip. There's suds everywhere. So she puts her foot down. She grabs her bathrobe and her towel, and she's going to do, dry off. And then she sees something, a sight that she'll never forget. This is what she sees. She actually feels this first on her foot. The floor in the bathroom is rather wet, and that's usually, it's kind of an old house, so, whatever, things leak. But this wetness was almost like gooey, a gooey substance. So she looks down, and the water is red that is surrounding her feet. She also looks in the middle of the bathroom floor. There's a hole that's always been there. The tile's cracked and it's kind of chipped around it.
Okay.
Shooting up from that hole, and this is from the newspaper, quote, like a sprinkler, a red liquid was spurting out
Of the cracked tile.
Of the crack. It was a hole in the tile, and like a fountain, red liquid was coming out actively.
That's the time to put that house on the market.
Well, they're renting. They're not owning.
Oh.
Okay, so what is it? What do you think that is?
This is a murder podcast, so what do you think it is, Mom?
Is it Jell-O or blood?
I guess it's blood.
I didn't get scared because I didn't know where it was coming from. It didn't look like blood. It didn't smell like blood.
Ketchup.
Naturally.
So she doesn't think it's blood, but we'll get to actually what it is here in a second. If it is blood, what does that mean for her? I told you a little bit about her husband. Her husband's on dialysis.
Wait, was she on the second floor and he on the first?
No, this is a one-floor home.
Oh.
So besides the basement.
Oh.
But this is across, they have to go across the living room to get to each other. So like the husband, William, or Willie is what we're going to call him, that's what he went by, is in the bedroom hooked up to a dialysis machine. Now keep in mind, Minnie is the primary caretaker of her husband. So she needs to be taking care of him actively. He is in a bad state. He can't just walk around and do things. But
Right.
the wife sees what could potentially be blood, and a lot of it
Coming up from the floor.
Immediately, she's going to think that something may be wrong with Willie, okay? Her
Right.
husband.
Right. Makes sense.
She calls from the bathroom. She's putting on her bathrobe. Come look at all this red stuff coming out of the floors. No response.
Uh-oh. Is he dead?
Well, I don't know.
It could be red wine coming up from the floor. Just because we've had a lot of red wine tonight.
No, just think about it. Like it's coming from the basement and no blood in the basement.
You think it
So
could
there's
be
a
a
lot of
wine
wine?
cellar?
Could be a wine cellar.
I don't know. I feel like that does not equate to that home style.
Yeah, I don't think you should be drinking wine if you're on dialysis for your kidney.
I didn't say it was from him. I'm just thinking where it's coming from downstairs.
But why would it be spurting up from...
Sure.
All right, let's just call it blood for now.
Okay.
All right. She says, come look at all this red stuff coming out of the floors. No response. Now she's really worried. Her husband is on constant dialysis. Something could have happened. There's not only blood spurting out, but there's blood on the baseboards. There's blood all over the bathroom floor. He could have maybe came in there while she was in the bath and kind of snoozed for a second. And maybe he fell and busted his head open. And now he's, on dying somewhere in the house. So she is extremely worried about her husband at this point. So, and they also don't own any animals, okay?
Okay.
After she calls the police, she would say the following, quote, there are no pets, rats, mice, or roaches in this house. Minnie puts on her bathrobe and walks into the hallway, and that's where she saw it.
Saw what?
Okay, if you want to read this is the headline, and there's a lot of papers that have similar headlines, but can you read this for us?
Human blood oozes from floor of elderly Atlanta couple home. So it is human blood.
It is human blood.
How?
Are you going to let me tell the story?
That's why we're here.
What do you think? Well, tell me.
Well, I'm very
Talking to the mic.
confused.
What are you
There you go.
confused about?
I'm confused because they're on one floor and he's in the other room and there is blood spurting up.
But there's a basement.
Right. But if he's in the other room, it can't be from him.
No. Where
What-
would
no-
it be from then?
Well, please tell us. But it's not from him. It's somebody else is in the basement.
Who's in the basement? You think somebody's in the basement?
Well, it's
How
not
would it
him.
get? How would it be coming up from the floor? Okay.
All right, what do
Could
you
it
guys
be in
on-
the pipes?
What do you guys on live chat think? So it's not just the bathroom. What I just said is she walks into Heather. Wolfie says, "Mom wants answers now."
She also said on the seller listing, cute one-story ranch-style home, complete with own bleeding effect, great for Halloween season.
She was in the bathroom, getting
yeah.
out of the bath, and yeah, that's all red and bloody. That could be anything. But now she goes out into the hall, into the main living area,
And
it is covered.
where's her husband?
Well, I'm going to get to that.
Okay,
I'm gonna
thank
get to that. The husband is okay. Okay, let me I don't want you to
Could
worry.
it be coming through the pipes somehow? Like a pipe burst of blood?
A pipe burst of blood.
Ketchup.
Oh, don't move that. Don't move that.
You just moved me.
She moved you. You have to lean in if you want to talk.
I gotta fix that where
There you
it's
go.
not connected like that.
That's better.
A pipe of ketchup.
A pipe of ketchup. Every children's dream.
The entire
Child.
floor was covered.
Like the carpet sopping wet of blood.
I don't think they had carpet. I know they had a rug.
Okay.
But it's hardwood. The entire floor was covered in blood. And this red stuff. Covered in this red stuff. Not only that, along the baseboards, there were blood streaks. Kind of like someone has a bloody hand and is just streaking across the baseboard of the house. Just everywhere. There were smeared not handprints. They never said handprints, but there were smeared blood on the wall. All over the wall. Okay? There was tiny droplets of blood splatter. Kind of like when you beat someone with a bat. Your mom's like, what?
Okay, so it wasn't ketchup.
There were tiny blood spatters everywhere, almost like someone got bludgeoned. This was in the kitchen. It was in the living room. Everywhere except where the husband was. That one bedroom, everywhere there was this red covering everything. Also, tiny drops of blood looked like it was sprayed from a spray bottle at a downward angle. So it was just like tricklets of little red blood everywhere. Now, this couple this husband and wife, their routine is very simple. At that age, they're not going out or anything. At 9:30, they're in bed. However, this one night, Minnie wants to take a bath and go to bed 30 minutes later, an hour later. That's the only difference. But she's in the bath, and whatever happened or wherever this stuff came from, it happened when she's in the bath and her husband is hooked up to a dialysis machine. All right? You guys understand? Now, what do you do in that situation if that ever happens to you? Well, you call the police, and that's what they did. Not only the police arrived, because an elderly couple calls you. Think about like you're the cop. Yes, there's blood all over the house. Okay, is there a crime? Is anybody hurt?
There's blood all over the walls. I don't know how it got there.
Yeah, you may think, okay, this is kind of crazy, but we definitely need to check it out. So the EMTs were called because there might be someone that is dying in there. The fire department was called because, like you said, there may be a pack of coyotes in there. I mean, that's a good, coyotes came in there and ripped each other apart. I mean, a good exclamation to me. Detective Cartwright, who was the main detective on this case, and he's also in the homicide unit. So if they call him, this is being treated as a homicide at this point. However, there's no body. He says, quote, "I've been on the force 10 years and I've never seen anything like this." Now, all right, let's talk about the blood, the red. It could be rust from the pipes. It could be, I don't know, Jello, or it could be red wine, anything but blood. But you know what makes a lot of sense? If it was blood, it is probably something to do with the husband's dialysis machine because he's constantly losing blood and getting it back in. There's a lot of blood in the house.
But it's not coming from the tubes.
They thought, okay, number one, let's send this to the lab, the Georgia State Crime Lab, and have it tested. And have it tested immediately. Skip all these other ones. We need to find out if because this could be someone that is in dire need. They send it, whatever the substance is, to the crime lab. It comes back. It is human blood.
Human.
Is it his blood?
It is human blood. It is type O, and it has a subtype, a positive, O positive blood. All right, let's make sure that this isn't the husband's or Minnie's. Both have type A. It's not their blood. It is human blood. It is not their blood. And this is a true story. Everything I'm telling you tonight is 100% true. This is one of the cases that has baffled people forever and since 1987 has brought in paranormal investigators, everyone. No one has an explanation about why or where all of this blood came from. It is not the two people that were in the house. It is not their blood. All right, any questions?
I mean, so many. So I'll just let you keep going, though.
Okay. The Georgia Crime Lab, like I said, this guy's name was Larry Howard. He was the one that tested it. His final thought was it could be a homicide or it could be a hoax. Maybe it's a hoax. This is in the 80s. The horror scene was big. I read all those horror books, and half of them have bleeding houses in them, it seems, or some sort of house that has a mind of its own. You know what I'm saying? It could be a hoax.
This seems like it's an episode of a show, honestly.
So the headlines are numerous about this case, but it is still, no one can tell what this blood is, like where it came from. Every room in the house of the 6-bedroom house, except the bedroom where Willie, the grandpa, was in, every room, the bathroom, kitchen, living room, the spare bedroom, the halls, and even the basement. The basement had the same thing. The basement smeared everywhere. Any theories out there?
Ashley is saying maybe there was a murder before and it's the blood soaked in and dried and people washed it up and covered it, and it's the humidity and the walls are sweating.
That's a very good point. I will say that there was no reported homicides in this house ever. The house was built in 1945. It has been in the same family since it was built. And there's only been one other couple renting it, which is the couple here now, Minnie and Willie. But since 1945, so what's that? 40 years. There's been no homicide, no one died in it accidentally or of old age or whatever. No death at all recorded, and it has been rented by this elderly couple for 22 years.
And they had no pets.
They had no pets, and she said no rats, no pets, no, not even roaches. I'm like, shit. I wish I could say all that. We're like infested in this house. Just
Way
kidding.
to make mom feel comfortable. That's good.
All right. So, yeah, I'd like to know what you guys are thinking out there. Tell me, you just keep up with the theories.
I mean,
when
I
they
said,
come
but
in.
wouldn't sweating from would sweating from the floor soak the carpets? It's just interesting.
Well, all right. So,
But I think Ashley's is the best theory out there right now.
what?
About maybe something happened and the blood soaked and dried and they washed it up and tried to cover it and then the humidity made the walls sweat.
Okay, think about that. Every room in this house, even the basement. Let's say something happened. Let's say the first owner had a mistress and he decided to kill her. So it started in the bathroom. He takes a bat, beats her, moves to the kitchen, beats her with that. She's putting her hands all over the wall, goes into the halls, into the spare bedroom, in the kitchen, and then finally to the basement because all of those places are covered with blood,
Well, where is she?
Well, I'm not saying he even had a mistress. I'm trying to, put some. I will tell you one thing though. It is not, in my humble opinion, it is not some phantasm, some exorcist stuff, right? I mean, that's not logical, in my opinion. Or is it? I don't know. All right, can you read number 2?
Detective Steve Cartwright said there were no bodies at the scene, but discovered copious amounts of blood splattered on the walls and floors in at least 5 rooms of the house.
Copious amounts. What's that mean? Copious.
Freeze Ray said, "Oh, so it's a girl house."
What? Why she say that?
I think he's making a period joke.
Oh, the night that the walls had its period. Wow, these walls have been bleeding for 7 days.
Oh my God, it happens once a month.
Wow, these walls keep nagging me.
Suddenly moody and telling me everything that I do wrong.
Next to arrive after the police get there. Now, this is an active crime scene, but they did let the property owners come in here. And this is them right here. This is the people that own the property, Alfred and his son, AJ. That's AJ right there. Or excuse me, Alfred. That's Alfred. Look at this face.
He's like, what did I just
He's like-
invest in?
He is like, I don't want this. What is all this blood?
I don't blame him.
What's his daddy doing right there? What's he looking at?
The TV?
There was blood under the TV set and behind the TV set.
Aye.
He is looking at the blood behind the TV set.
This is bad.
And this says it all right here. He's like,
Yeah.
He's like, yeah,
What in the fizz?
that would be my face right there. So what do you guys think?
Literal definition of WTF face.
So the father and son, the ones that own the house, they do their thing. And the cops caught them in for a reason. All right, go check the pipes. No busted pipes. All right, go check the faucets for leaking. No leaks. All they found was more blood. Everywhere they looked. Under the TV, more blood. Just blood everywhere. Blood in the basement, blood behind, pictures, everything. Pictures on the wall, there's blood behind it. What is going on here? Let's question the tenants. Maybe they just are having a field day with this,
Secretly in like a satanic cult type thing.
I mean, at this point, we'll entertain any ideas at this point. All right. Now, this is, as I showed you earlier, this is the couple right here. If you want to think that they staged this, even though both of them is type A blood, but let me tell you a little bit about them. William Winston, 79 years old. His wife, Minnie, 77, married 44 years. They raised 3 children in this home with no problems.
We've never had anything like this happen before, and this is the first time I've had to call the police.
First time calling the police. They've been in this home for 22 years. Both had A-type blood. Willie was on dialysis, but it wasn't his blood because he's type A. He says,
I'm not bleeding. My wife's not bleeding. Nobody else was here.
so they're like, all right, Tell me what happened. Like, what's your routine? What happened? All right. At 9:30, we go to bed. Before that, I lock the house. The house is locked shut. Windows are locked tight. The doorknob, the little, what do you call it? Deadbolt. And then I set the alarm. Alarm system set. Do. Alarm set. Didn't go off. Okay. He goes to bed at 9:30. Both were awake. She goes to take a bath. This is what Mrs. Winston says. Now, the police are questioning them because they need answers.
I don't know where it came from, and I don't want to have anything to do with it. People are coming out here to see it and troubling us. I haven't had any sleep today, and I probably won't get any tonight.
So when this hit the news, this was a big thing. This was a national thing. Okay, you have this elderly couple that are now thrust into the national spotlight, and she's just trying to take a bath and go to sleep earlier and take her naps, you know? Now you have all these people out there.
I wouldn't want to stay in that house, though.
Okay, we'll get to that in a little bit. Her husband said, quote, me? I'm not bothered by it because I'm in bad enough shape as it is. I thought that was funny.
That'd be what you would say.
Yeah.
Whatever.
All right. Mrs. Winston claimed that it was not blood. It was rust mixed with mud, mixed with water, sprayed from a ruptured hot water heater in the basement. She kept saying that. No, that's not blood. All right. They tested it. It's blood. And not only that, it has a type and a subtype, O positive. Okay. She said that because she didn't want to be bothered anymore about this. And there was only 2 floor vents in the house, and both showed no blood whatsoever. So it can't be some, sprayed out of a water heater. There was no ruptured pipes, remember?
Paranormal investigator Kurt Rowlett interviewed Mrs. Winston and said, but soon it became obvious to me why she would want to make such a claim. Mrs. Winston emphasized quite strongly to me that if the substance had actually been blood, that she would not be willing to stay in the house anymore. I asked Mrs. Winston if she or her husband had ever experienced anything like this in the house prior to the incident, and specifically whether she believed that her house was haunted. So she didn't believe that it was blood, even though it was tested.
Mrs. Winston emphasized quite strongly to me that if the substance had actually been blood, that she would be not willing to stay in the house anymore. She's either in denial or she just doesn't want to be bothered. She knows it's blood.
I mean, it was tested.
But think about your house. You're sleeping there. You don't have anywhere else to go. It's not like you can go rent a hotel forever. Your house starts bleeding. Are you going to tell yourself, oh, that's definitely blood? Yeah, blood everywhere. Are you going to be like, no, that's definitely not blood. It's, I just need to, You're not going to want to admit that to yourself? You're sleeping in a bloody house?
I feel like that is an opportunity to get out of your lease and start a new one. I mean,
but they've been there 22 years. They've raised
blood on the walls is blood on the walls.
They're probably still there right now. They've raised 3 children in that house.
It's not like they own the house. I think it'd be different if they own the house.
Yeah, but they're not.
Like, if it happened in this house, we'd be like, okay, well, we own it. We have to clean it up and sell it and get the F out. But if we were renters, it's the owner's problem to deal with. And we'd be like, okay, so we are going to end our lease.
Well, the owner was there. The owner was there. And there's no busted pipes or anything.
Yeah, but you can still break your lease early. Might cost money. Or be like, okay, we're up at the end of, in 6 months. Peace out. Goodbye. Here's our notice.
Sergeant H.L. Bolton said the following: we have not stopped looking because we know houses don't bleed, but we haven't determined that a crime was committed, and that is our primary concern. So the Steve Cartwright, who you mentioned earlier, said there must be some sort of natural explanation for it. Even though it sounds pretty mysterious right now, once we get through the facts, it will be demystified. There was no evidence. The Detective Cartwright and a police spokeswoman, Marion Lee, said to the media that they are not pursuing this as a hoax. Okay, so what did I say? It was either a homicide or a hoax. They told the media that this is a heavy investigation and they are not pursuing it as a hoax. 6 months, they decide to close the case because there's nothing they can do. The case is closed, but it still remains unsolved in their books. But there's no body, nothing. But what are they going to do? Let's go down the hoax route real quick. I don't know what they're saying on live chat, but
I don't think it's a hoax. And I don't think anybody else thinks it's necessarily a hoax.
Well, that was something that came up. So one detective was actually sent to all the blood banks around Atlanta because there was a lot of blood. Remember, there was a copious amount of blood in that house. They sent this one detective out, all the blood banks he can go to. They're all locked up tight because this was when the AIDS epidemic was really hitting people. Even the mayor couldn't even sign out blood. That stuff was under such lock and key that even a hoaxer or somebody like that would not just be able to go get blood, because that was, it was a national crisis, and blood was preserved in under extreme watchful eyes. So like no one went and got this blood somehow and sprayed it all over the walls. Okay.
Wolfie said, John, without saying anything, did you read anything about the daughter?
Okay, kind of. I didn't.
Well, that's all she said. She's like, I don't want to say anything. Like, if you're about to say it.
I mean, unless you found something, I didn't go down the daughter route, but I do have something about the daughter here in a second. But
Okay.
she's going down the fact that maybe, you remember I said they raised 3 children.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Perhaps one of the 3 children have something to do with it.
Were they Satan worshipers or something?
No, but I'm going to get, did anyone ask about the children?
Yeah, Wolfie did.
I know, but besides Wolfie, she knows the stories though.
I'm
trying to see if there's any future detectives out there.
No, but Freeze Ray has a really interesting point. Wonder if that's why it was rented out in the first place. Maybe it wasn't the first time that it happened.
Yeah, that's pretty
Like maybe there was a history, even though they rented out for 4 years, like maybe 40 years, maybe something happened before that.
Yeah. In the book Unexplained Mysteries, the authors Janet and Colin Board attributed the blood to a resident poltergeist. I'm not going to go down the paranormal road,
Who
but
is a resident poltergeist?
it's like the one that we have here that keeps moving shit around. But basically, to be a resident poltergeist, a murder would have to occur, or at least a death.
Paranormal investigator Kurt Rowlett said, my own investigation did not uncover any specific evidence that indicated a prior supernatural event preceding the appearance of the blood. But after all things were considered, a paranormal event seems to be as a likely explanation as any other that has been purposed to date.
All right, think about it. Bleeding houses and stuff. I mean, think about the Virgin Mary bleeding out of her eye, the statues and stuff. Like that is documented. Mm-hmm. The Catholic priests document that stuff happening. Exorcisms, all that stuff. Walls bleed, you know? So in a religious context, it is very feasible that it could have happened.
So did someone have an exorcism in the house?
No, but I'm just saying that according to some religious text, it could be possible that something like this could happen, because it is documented that like the Virgin Mary statue or whatever, you know, bleeds out the eyes. I mean, you saw stuff like that, right? You know?
Natasha asked, was it on an ancient burial ground?
That's a good question.
Great question.
Yeah, that's a great question. Oh my God, that is a good question. Let's
With
go.
no answer.
I don't know. I mean, I didn't think to look at that. I'm like you guys, man. I try to do research in this, and you know, I'm just like you guys. I'm not. I'm just the one reading the papers and stuff. They don't offer any explanations in the paper. The police can't do it. You know, they don't know what to say. So, you know, I'm no special person. Anyway, the first theory was pretty obvious and ruled out instantly. Perhaps a wounded animal, a deer maybe. A deer could have came in, and this does happen. A deer jumps in the house window, cuts itself, you know, bashes its head all in the walls, and then runs out, maybe. But that couldn't happen because the blood was human blood, not deer blood. This was human blood. So that theory is out, okay? And they didn't have pets. Remember, there are no pets, rats, mice, roaches in this house. Now, let's get on to the children, because this is my kind of where I'm kind of headed.
Okay.
Because I'm not really into the paranormal stuff. I'm not saying it doesn't exist, okay? I mean, we were talking about the medium in the last episode. I'm at the point where I don't know, man. I mean, it could be real. I don't know. I just don't know. I never experienced it, but it could be. So I'm not trying to downplay anyone's thought if it is some poltergeist or whatever. But there are some troubles in the Winston's family, the children. First of all, you have Willie Jr. This struck me as very odd. Not odd, but very coincidental. Willie Jr., at the time that this happened, was a burglary detective for the Atlanta PD. So the house is broken in. Let's say it was a hoax. Someone smeared the blood. House is broken into, but there's an alarm. The alarm didn't go off. Let's say his son did it, Willie. He would know how to break into a house because he's a burglary detective. That's all he does. All he does is investigate people breaking into houses. He would know how to do that. Plus, he would know how to get past the alarm. Plus, as a detective, he could possibly have access to blood, okay? Even though at the time it was very lock and key. Perhaps he could have, whatever, bribed somebody or whatever. It's possible, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Now, why would he do that? What's the motive for that? I'll let you guys think about that. The daughter, Wolfie said something about the daughter. And all I know about the daughter, Wolfie, is that she was a nurse at the time. And she had access to a lot of blood. As a nurse, she has that access to a lot of blood. She would be the one that would be able to get it. But why would they do this? So I thought of the following. They either could be trying to hoax their parents to deem them incompetent. So, they can sell the house or whatever. There was some problems in the family. So they could be trying to deem their parents incompetent and move them on out. I guess not sell the house. It's not even theirs. Whatever, move them out or whatever. On the flip side of that, could it have not been the two Winstons? There I showed you all nice and it couldn't be me. There's been a broken relationship with the children. They miss their children. They miss spending time. Could this be a way to bond the children? All they got to do is throw some blood on the wall. I mean, he is a dialysis patient. I know he's 79, but he could maybe get some. And remember, the blood that was tested they didn't test every blood stain. They tested a little bit. It could have been different. It could have been different, and they just tested that one segment. But what do you guys think? The children could have done it for financial reasons. Who knows?
Wolfie said, that's what I read. A lot of people were looking into her because of that, wanting the inheritance, but they couldn't prove anything.
The inheritance is what I was thinking too, Wolfie, but this couple is renting. They don't have much money. I can tell you that right now. There's not much of inheritance. And then are they going to get the inheritance if they so that would mean they're trying to hoax their parents and then have them sound crazy and locked up. But that's not going to get them the inheritance until they die, right? They're not trying to kill their parents. So it doesn't really make sense. And the daughter would break in. Now, you got to keep in mind, this happened in a very short time period.
Right.
This happened under an hour. Not only did Minnie take a bath at 9:30 and then the grandpa went in his own separate way, Minnie gets out 45 minutes later and every room in the house is covered, smeared. Are you telling me that they got past the locks? They got past the alarm system? They didn't... They spread blood all over the place without even...
That's a lot of effort.
It's a lot of effort, and they weren't even asleep.
Right.
Okay? They still can hear things going on. You're going to be really quiet. What do you even bring in there? Like a paint bucket? Couple paint buckets? Like, how are you going to be quiet enough to do that? And how are you going to get past the alarm? And the locked door, and then sneak back out and go into the basement and do this all meticulously. All the baseboards, you got a spray bottle because it wasn't just smeared. It was squirted from something. It looked like blood splatter. It wasn't just like, oh yeah, let's do all the walls. It was different types of blood there.
Okay, so after this incident, what happened to the house?
You saw it on Google Earth. Nothing.
It's still there.
It's still there.
People are still living in it.
Yeah.
And has anything happened since?
Nope, not that I saw. Nothing. From what I saw...
Is it the same family that's renting it? Like, I'm assuming they've since passed.
I don't know. I didn't look that up. This is where I was... I'm just like you guys with this, I just delivered a story. I'm not a detective or anything, but that's the story. And it's true. 100% true. Look it up in any newspaper.
I don't know what to make of it.
And everything I said, I can put sources behind everything I said tonight.
So they stayed in that house until the end of their...
Think about it. At this point, I wouldn't want to move either,
I would.
Now you would, because you're all like, but I'm going to be a grumpy ass old man. I'm basically already there. Me and old Hubs on there on the floor. I ain't going to want to get up. I'm going to be like that guy. I'm in pretty bad shape anyway. I don't care. I don't know. That's my 2 cents. What do you guys think of all this?
What do you think it is?
Red wine?
No, it's blood. It's
Do you think it was a paranormal thing? Do you think it was
like a ghost?
Yeah.
Someone that, you watch horror movies where the ghost is haunting the family and moving stuff, like throwing lamps, books, slinging books.
Do you think there was a ghost haunting the house and it was like blood?
Or a demon or something.
Are ghosts capable of...
I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't even know.
That is that is a fundamental question. Do you think that it's possible that could have happened?
That's almost the
I will say I'm not really big into the paranormal. As soon as I saw that the son was a burglary detective, I knew, that just stuck out to me. because
Yeah.
I'm so focused on not having it be a paranormal experience. Because I mean, I've
What
never.
else could it be?
That's what I'm saying. I don't know.
I don't know either. I don't know either.
But it happened, and it'll probably happen to this house tonight. I'm just kidding.
Stop! Oh my gosh.
What do you guys think of that story? Crazy, eh? Atlanta Blood House.
Sable thinks that maybe the ghost was haunting the wrong house.
Shit.
That's a good theory.
I mean, dude.
There's no anything. So
Well, so
that's
I was
why-
thinking.
But maybe something happened before. I think Freeze had a really interesting thought of like, what if something happened before these renters? You
Yeah,
know,
but
40
still,
years
blood-
before it would have been in the 40s.
But it all just
30s.
bleeds at the same
Yeah,
time.
That sounds like
No. I think that still means it's paranormal in some way,
Oh,
shape,
okay.
or form. But like maybe something sinister happened in that house, and it wasn't just in one location. So it's not like there was like a body behind a wall.
It was in every location besides the husband's location. It was the one. It was spurting up. Remember, from the bathroom tile, spurting out of that one hole. It was
the
all on the
walls.
baseboards.
So
While she was in the tub in that bathroom.
Yeah.
paranoid.
And they looked at that. Like, I mean, all right. So if they were to, all right. So
How
it's
has a movie not been made about this?
here's the thing. All right. Now I'm all screwed up. It can't be the kids. Do the kids go in there into the bathroom and somehow make blood spurt out the freaking tile?
No, it's paranormal.
It doesn't make any sense. That makes no sense to me. But that's what happened. That's exactly what
Can't
happened.
explain it.
They should bring a medium in to.
There have
solve
been
the
a lot
mystery.
of mediums that have been,
here.
come to this house.
And what do they find? What do they say?
They all say, well, she read the one. I only
Oh.
researched that one guy, but she said that it was most likely a paranormal thing. You remember whatever you just read? It said, what is it?
Paranormal investigator said, my only investigation did not uncover any specific evidence that indicated a prior supernatural event preceding the appearance of the blood, but after all things are considered, a paranormal event seems to be as likely an explanation as any other that has been purposed to date. Like, there is no other explanation, though.
I mean, honestly, I don't think, dude, there is really no other, man, that I can think
Well,
of.
has anybody ever experienced anything odd like that? Well, think about it.
Well,
On
so
this-
this guy, he has an article about this, and he said that he looked up all the accounts of walls bleeding, and the only one relate.
All.
Well, no, so there's
How
not
many are there?
Not hardly any.
Okay.
But he says the only one that comes close happened in the 1800s when it was raining blood. It was like a freaking plague. It was raining blood, and this one woman saw it just raining like on her orchard, and it was and the whole town was sent there. Everyone looked at it. It was everywhere. It was on the trees. It was everywhere. It was just blood everywhere. It came from the sky. Just blood. It's like a 1,000 birds got chopped up in a freaking jet engine or something. But this is in the 1800s, you know? I mean, I don't know. Crazy.
Wild.
I thought you guys would like that.
That was interesting.
Yeah.
I feel like that. What's that show that you and Jen love?
Oh, American Horror Story?
Yeah, I feel like it would make a season of that.
Yeah. This is more like a, what do you call it? A creep show. Tales from the Crypt.
Yeah,
type of
there you
thing.
go.
Or even Twilight Zone.
Yeah.
But I hope you guys like that. And we got some new supporters today that came in. I really appreciate it. We'll shout you out on the next episode and everything. Since Jen's not here, things are a little different here. But I hope you guys like that a little different. And I don't know. That's all I got. So if you guys got anything?
Thanks for joining, Mom.
Yeah.
what fun. What fun.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you so much. We enjoyed having you. Everyone was talking about you and saying great things. So nice. All right. Well, until next time, good night, you lovely, lovely people.